It is with great regret that we announce that Lena will not be participating in Creator Clash either.
First off, I apologize to any of the fans who were going to see Lena. She was kind of put in a really situation, and boxing is a very serious thing, and you need your full concentration.
How much did you guys spend?
I think we probably spent around $12,000.
And like, why should you guys be expected to front the cost for that, for their event? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I will be reimbursing you guys, so don't worry about the money. It's the least I could do after tanking your entire life savings.
Just cancel this already, man. It's not gonna work. Good morning, everyone. The story of Creator Clash 3 is slowly but surely devolving into a huge mess. In one of my last videos, I covered the dropout of Harley Morenstein, who, you know, was the main card fighter for the event. So the news of him choosing to quit and no longer participate definitely did some damage for the event. Now in that situation, we can't purely blame iDubbbz because we have no idea what was said behind the scenes. However, today we can shift all the blame onto him for having another fighter drop out, that being Lena from H3. If you knew the impact of iDubbbz's content corp, then I'm sure you saw it from a mile away. But with that said, it still doesn't excuse how much of a mess this has been so far.
That we announced that Lena will not be participating in Creator Clash either.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else in between, we are back with a brand new iDubbbz video because his Creator Clash 3 event is falling apart. And yes, this is the second video on this channel today, and no, it's not about how lucky you are, it's about the fact that I've got things to pay for. Unless you've been living under a giant rock, you would know very well that Creator Clash 2 failed to make any money for charity.
You know,
and this one even more so, in my opinion, Haimo.
Despite it being a fun event, and despite good fights and a lot of creators sacrificing a lot of time, money, and energy, we lost $250,000 on the event.
So when it was announced,
I'm sorry, I love that video so much. He looks so broken down. Like, yeah, we did for charity, and we lost $250,000. That's so. I'd rather be dead, you know, than make an apology like that or make a statement like that. I'll make a tweet about it, but it should be on camera like that.
iDubbbz and Inisa would be bringing back Creator Clash for a third event, and you know, incredible fighters and entertainers like, you know, Tubbo would be fighting on the card. A lot of people
I love that. That's so funny. The biggest, most relevant person he could get this year, apart from maybe Harley, he's like reoccurring. The biggest person he would get, fucking Tubbo, not Tommy, not Dream, Tubbo. I don't mind them, but like, what the fuck?
I'm genuinely worried that not only would it not make any money for charity, but it would also be a huge failure. And this worry only increased when iDubbbz dropped his content corp on H3.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neela. Like, it's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, if that doesn't always help them. Right. Sometimes that makes it.
Guys, if you want to make like a real emotional video, include your disgusting like snot sniffing sound effects. I just really you know, like that. It makes you know way more honest to yourself, definitely.
And people were not only worried that the controversy and drama from around this would make fighters pull out, feel uncomfortable fighting.
Also, I'm betting my money now. I truly do believe Harley left due to some shit, but with Ian or Anissa or, you know, Hassan's gang, I refuse to believe, like, you know, he dropped out for a bullshit reason. Like, you know, like we didn't feel like it. No, I truly believe deep down he was pissed off with the way it was being managed. That's
maybe
why.
wouldn't agree with the stance that iDubbbz was taking, but one of the fighters...
Like, the kind of reason that like so moronic that you can't blame anybody else but Ian and Anissa for it.
Who was going to be fighting on Creator Clash 3 was also employed under H3. And all those fears over the past week and a bit have kind of been realised. Creator Clash 3 as an event is falling to pieces. The first sign of this was when photos of the seating for the arena were being posted online, how many tickets had been sold, how many people were going to actually be turning up to this event, and basically not many tickets had been sold whatsoever. People
now in their defense, right, that image, he might show it soon, right, but that image that Dojangles showed on Twitter were like 80% of the seats were still vacant 1 month right now in advance. You know, it might be saved by the fact, you know, it'll make more revenue from like ticket sales, you know, like as in like paying online for streaming. But they did say, you know, last year Quick Clash 2 it failed due to piracy, all that stuff. I mean, I think it was a myriad of reasons, but I feel like piracy would be a big issue this time because like nobody will care at all.
people didn't want to go or turn up to this event. Because of how bad the ticket sales
Yes,
were
yeah.
and the current seat availability, this caused Creator Clash to kind of do a reshuffle, which got a lot of backlash online because, you know, this is a pathetic showing. And I've genuinely got to ask iDubbbz, what do you think was going to happen when he dropped the H3 content cop before Creator Clash 3?
Nothing. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it blows my mind like how we're treating iDubbbz like an actual rational person. No, he has no soul behind his head, right? He fucked up massive Quick Clash 2 by paying a ransom. So what I'm saying, paying out fighters, right? And now even more so, he took like the huge diplomatic action to cut all ties with the H3 community, the biggest community that that will fund this shit. And he ruined them. He torched them. He went complete scorched earth. I hope in 10 years this diplomatic action will be studied because it's so more like there's so much to be learned from it and how
Clash 3
dumb it
already
was.
had the failure of Creator Clash 2 riding on it, and the fact it made no money for charity. What did you think was going to happen when he dropped a content cop on his former friend right before the event, when the event had somebody who was employed by H3 fighting on it? To all the outsiders,
I feel like Ian and Issa, they're way more fueled by ego and pride. Like they truly believe like they can do the most insane, laughable, egregious shit ever and still like run a good charity. When deep down they can't at all. They fucked up the second time, and now even more so, which was
genuinely looks like
I think this action of like ruining Lena and H3 is worse than like the Froggy Fresh stuff, all those things, and also collide with having Harley, being kicked out, having Harley drop out. I was on volition.
iDubbbz and Anissa have tried their hardest to make this event a failure. Because fighters as well, who were meant to be fighting on Creator Clash 3, who have fought on other Creator Clashes, like Dad for example, have come out to speak about the H3 content cop. Hey guys, I've heard about the stuff going down. I feel for you. Really hope everything goes as good as they can. Hope everyone makes it out sane. Good luck, Lena. This whole thing is a bummer for all. It's weird that he put that out. I feel confused too. This is genuine.
That's so fucking funny. The biggest supporters of Ian and Issa, like Harley Mornstein and Dad, Nathan, it's just Nathan, whatever. The biggest supporters, even they cannot get behind this. That's laughable. Do you know how much you fucked up when you have your own big supporters like not go with you fully? Like even they have to go to like enemy ground and make a comment. That's insane. You were so goddamn
the
dumb.
last thing that you want to do before your next big.
Like bear in mind, they had like this huge exchange, from the H3 community to a Suns community. When in reality, nobody from there will, replace one of the fighters, or nobody from that fan base will go watch the fight. So just the dumbest exchange ever. Okay, I won't call it an exchange because it was purely fueled by bias and a childlike sense of wrath.
Boxing event that's meant to be for charity. When your second one was a critical failure, everyone's panned it. It didn't make any money for charity. You had to try and make charity money back doing live streams. Why would you risk this? This is the genuinely worst outcome that you could possibly have. And as well, Harley, who was meant to be headlining Creator Clash 3 and who's been fighting on the previous Creator Clashes, actually recently called into Nicholas Diorio to speak about the mess of Creator Clash 2.
I'll see you in a second, right? I think the idea is not more so the idea of like him, of me want to see him or the people. It's more the idea of, having someone that loyal just drop out of his own volition. That's crazy shit. That's the insane stuff. He stuck around for all three of them, or at least for partially for this one, but he stuck around through thick and thin. That's
after
insane.
the first one, we found out, and I looked it up. We got 27,000.
27,000, just to be clear, because you broke up a little bit.
Like,
oh, 1 second, Harley. You're breaking up a little bit. So everyone got
20,
the 20
is my thing
flat.
breaking up here?
Yeah. But just to be clear, so you got the 20K down initially, and then there was a $27,000 bonus on the night of the fight, but not a bonus for the fight of the night.
Yeah, exactly.
So by the time Creator Clash 2...
Wait, hold on. It might be moronic. He said 27K for to be in a fight. That's nice, but like bear in mind, this meant to be for charity. Hopefully, if this goes through fruition, right, and this happen, hopefully they pay people less because it's meant to be for charity, right? I mean, like, I guess you could be more transparent, be like, hey, number one priority, we want you to pay people first, and then second priority, whatever is left over will go to charity, maybe. But when you're using the defense that it's for charity, then make that the number one goal, not paying people, for appearing.
Around a lot of people thought that they would be receiving a bonus of some type.
Because when Creator Clash 2 happened, now people were like, What about
If I was fighting, I'd give all my bonus to the charities.
the bonus thing? Because there was a bonus that, like, what's going to happen with that? What's the logic of that? How's that going to play out?
Wait, so was this
And,
after
there was
they
some-
found out or before they found out that no money was going to charity?
Oh no! Once everyone found out no money was going to charity, not a single person was like, "Where's my money?"
It's just one of the things that shows how poor the communication on Creator Clash 2 was. How bad the event truly actually was. I think a lot of people actually underplay how bad it was. I think we should start really overplaying how bad it was. Because
That's
genuinely...
so for the entire time, like the Creator Clash events, I'm not sure about one, but definitely these last two, they've been ran like fucking Morse code, super slow, barely any communication, and no promotion at all. The last promotion I saw on Twitter was like promoting Lena and that froggy opponent. That was the one fight, and even she dropped out.
This event sounds like it was an absolute nightmare.
Was like, oh, I really needed that. Oh shit, and it ended up being 0 when people were kind of doing like the mental gymnastics of like, oh wow, that amount that could be if this sells like Creator Clash 1, that could be $50,000. Or something like that, whatnot, Which is why, and listen, I genuinely was not dependent on that money, and I do love bringing it up, even though people don't believe me. I turned down 150K from Keemstar to box.
Oh my god, bro, my heart skipped a bit. I was like, was he about to get offered 150K from Ian from Creator Clash? No, it's from Keemstar. Like, holy shit.
Money's not important. When the
Also,
fight was
what the fuck is that story? 150K from Keemstar? I want to hear about that.
done the next day, so now the fight is over, and we all slept in the hotel, us and everyone on Twitch that got brought down. We all slept there, and the next day was this party. And I remember going to the party and seeing like professional photographer. I remember seeing some girl singing on stage.
I think Nicholas Diorio's...
Oh god, I'm sorry. That party story broke my heart. Because I used to be like the biggest reason why Creator Clash 2 failed due to piracy. But when you hear about the lavish lifestyle, the lavish party they had post the event, without properly calculating like the money made for the event for charity, that breaks my heart.
This view with Harley really kind of adds to how bad Creator Clash 2 actually was, how badly it was run, how their priorities weren't really focused on charity, how it was much more focused on trying to give creators the best experience they could possibly have with all these musicians, all this good food, as Harley goes on to say.
Right, in my humble opinion, right, if you're doing something for charity, don't go, like if you're a fighter, right, don't go into like the expectation to be paid at all. Like I'm saying now, for me, for people, because I hate the idea, of people in the future doing a charity event and especially get paid because of these two fucking idiots, Ian and Nisa, having that kind of system in place when it just makes no sense.
And a guy telling jokes after. And in my head, I was like, someone flew that girl down. I don't know who she is, but she got a hotel room. She may have also gotten paid to be here. I'm looking at the food on the table. I'm not really hungry. I'm like, all this food. I'm like,
it just makes no sense. Why would you need like people to stay around after? If I was one of the fighters, I'd be so tired. I'd be like, fuck this. I wanna catch the first flight home. Why am I still here at your stupid like fucking high school party?
My partner at the time, I was like, I don't know if everyone here is analyzing it the way I am, but we paid for this party. I thought money was going to charity still. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, money's going to charity, but like this party is paid for by us.
And when you've got an event like Creator Clash 3, with the failure of Creator Clash 2 riding on you, with the content cop on H3 also being a looming factor, this is not the price from one of your headline fighters that you really, really want. And I think if anyone is familiar with...
I feel like with Harley, right, it was like a slowly matchstick bridge falling apart. Because he stuck around through thick and thin, like I said. But I think after Creator Clash 2, and now seeing the fucking disgusting forest fire with Content Corp, I think he finally realized, holy shit, I should not be putting my time and energy and effort into this, when reality is very, very unlikely that anybody will go to charity. Like, very unlikely that a goal will be fulfilled with the pure intention. by these scumbags.
With this situation, or Harley, and how he's been talking about Creator Clash and dealing with it just in general, I think it's very clear that Harley very much does care about charity, the event at hand,
100%.
and wants to raise money for charity. It seems like he's one of the only individuals, as Nicholas Diorio puts it, that actually gives a fuck. This is where I've been living for the past few months, getting ready for my boxing match. It's tough to get out of bed to do road work at 5 AM when you've been sleeping in silk pajamas. This would have been an excellent time to mention.
I have no idea where Harley lives normally, but like that just shows the dedication. He moved into like some shitty caravan for what it is. I mean, it looks alright actually. I mean, if you can see before, but like, why the fuck would you live in a caravan? I mean, apart from it being for an event,
Creator
for
Clash 3
training.
is coming up. The event really could have used that. Sometimes I wonder if it would have proved more beneficial for Creator Clash to have chosen H3 instead of Hassan in the divorce, or not made any choice at all, lol. Creator Clash 1, I did a doc with Sam Hyde training me to box. The original plan was to have Hassan also train me to box in the doc. It would have been cute and good content. Sam was down with the concept, Hassan, understandably so, didn't want to be involved. I felt like sharing that with you all. Creator Clash 2, I mentioned to Hassan that I think it would be better if he responded to the constant fight demands. I said if he puts me on the spot, I would box Sam for him. Hassan asked if he thinks I could beat him, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about all that though. Then I got knocked out. Those are just a few of Harley's recent
Well, he
tweets to
lost?
do with
Harley lost in the previous fight? Oh god.
Creator
I thought he
Clash,
was
but
a champion.
one of the major ones and the most important ones is the one where he announced that he wouldn't be boxing in Creator Clash. Now, originally when he tweeted this out, a lot of people had no idea if Anissa, IDubbbz, and Creator Clash had removed him from the event or if he had stepped back. Now,
Yeah, he'll show in a second, but like now we know that it should not be the case, as he shared with Nick that he was out of his own choice. And again, I really want to know what exact reason motivated this dropout. It's very likely, like, he lost trust in Ian and Nisa, but again, I just want it to be written on record. I want to see that so badly. I'm not even kidding.
due to a Nicholas Diorio stream and a message that Harley sent to him, we now know that he decided to take a step back.
Okay, I did just get clarification from Harley Morenstein.
Also, for Nick's view count, his fan base is growing so much. 6.88 thousand viewers. It's insane.
Appreciate it. I'll have to move this up in the segment,
Like,
but
but last month he was like on 2K viewers. He's growing. He's growing.
he just wanted to clarify that he dropped. Ian and Anissa didn't drop him. He left on his own accord.
Thank you for the $5, my
So that is something that he wanted you guys to know.
Hayes saw this late, was tying up loose ends, still doing that. I did leave on my own accord in the end. You can mention that if you're still live. I'm glad this was cleared up because it changes the dynamic of all of this significantly.
It was very, as much as I hate Ian and Nisa, and as much as I think they were incompetent, I don't think they would be that dumb to kick out Harley Morenstein from the fight. It just makes no sense. And also, he's never shown like much avid loyalty to H3 or like Ethan. So yeah, it was definitely like very clearly from day one his choice from the beginning.
But the result at the end of the day is still the same. They've just lost the fighter that probably cared about Creator Clash the most and wanted to see it succeed
I mean,
the
so
most.
far in this video, he's brought up a lot of Harley, but I want to see Lena as well, because like Harley was like the fucking huge nail in the coffin, or so far, but Lena is like a little tap to the head of the nail, like really reaffirming it.
This puts them in a genuinely awful position, and if you thought it couldn't get any worse, it's about to get 10 times worse. No, I'm not going to show a picture of Frogan or Anissa. Basically, Lena, who works for H3 and who was going to be fighting on this event, ended up not doing so. She's not fighting anymore.
Any of us took lightly, least of all, AB and Lena specifically. It is with great regret that we announced that Lena will not be participating in Creator Clash either.
I mean, Lena was put in
But that's so funny. It's funny and sad at the same time, because she stuck around for like a week after the content co-op, but the fact that she dropped out now, that's saying a lot. The most loyal, like, she must be pretty loyal by comparison to everybody else, right? She's in enemy territory, and she's still like, stuck around after that whole drama. Oh my, how badly is it being run by fucking Ian and Lisa?
Really awful position here. I don't blame her. I'm surprised she didn't pull out of this event sooner. And at the time of the recording, IDubbbz and Lisa Creator Clash, whatever you want to say, hasn't officially.
Oh, that's so. This thing has been managed like an actual mess, right? There's been no statement, to my knowledge so far, of Lena dropping out. Two big fighters, your main card fighter and your side card fighter, they've dropped out, and it's radio silence, nothing from the official account on Twitter. Are you fucking dumb? That makes no sense.
Responded to any of this, but apparently a response is coming soon.
Oh no, so I take it back. They announced on the Dog Shit podcast, Maximum Damage. Thank God.
Yes. First off, I apologize to any of the fans who were going to see.
I forgot that as well. They won't be compensated at all. Lena spent like the better part of 2 months, and she lost all that time and money.
Lena.
Like AB says in a second that he spent around 12K for training.
It's been a lot, and Lena's just sort of been thrown in the middle. She was kind of put in a really shitty situation.
I think that's what makes the peculiar timing of the H3 content cop even more bizarre, because you've released it before.
I'm not sure if Slop Mule will show in a second, but I'll make that very clear. They stuck around, for like the content cop, right, for about a week, and they invested so much time and money into this, and then the second they tried to be like nice about it, and drop out, there was no mention of the people at Creator Clash 3 paying them back. She sunk in 12K for training and God knows how many hours, and they got nothing in return. From day one of conception, this has been ran awfully by the people at Creator Clash 3, like Ian and Issa, but also the manager as well. And even now, they can't even scrape by money for somebody that's been really nice to them from day one.
Or Creator Clash 3. Surely he must have known or weighed up the option that this could possibly disrupt this charity event, that this could have major repercussions for it.
He does not care at all. Like, he's so blinded by, drunken ego that he does not care at all. He thought he could host this match, he thought he could upload Content Cop, host the match, and then make triple the amount from Quick Clash 1. That's what he thought.
Or did iDubbbz not think about that whatsoever?
And boxing is a very serious thing, and you need your full concentration. And it was getting to a point
that's where, fucking money, time, and the emotional stress from this. My God. I respect her for not even dropping out the day the Content Cop also dropped.
He was just caught in the middle of stuff, and I was afraid, and she was distracted at practice, and there's a lot to it. And she wasn't dropped. It was sort of it wasn't fair to her opponent, Froggy, as well, because if Lena was to post...
With all due respect, I don't care about Froggy at all, like her opponent, because from day one, this was not you should not expect... Had you done your due diligence and looked up, this event and its history, you would not expect, the best conditions to get a fight into the light.
And promote, she would get shit.
I'm genuinely curious how iDubbbz and Creator Clash respond to this.
Fuck you if you're part of the HU community and you gave Lena shit. She doesn't deserve it at all.
As a whole, how they respond to several fighters pulling out, all the backlash that the event is receiving, and how it seems like it's pretty...
What the fuck's he moving around? Is that Honey?
Doomed. I'll be interested to see if they decide to cancel the event or not. I mean, at this point, I think they should.
And if she didn't post, she's still getting shit, and it's not fair to Froggy and her experience. So yeah, after talking out with everyone, we figured it was best if she drops.
Creator Clash, 2 highly anticipated fighters drop out. Ticket sales are non-existent. Jake Paul said...
Oh my God, that's so... Wait, can I zoom in real quick? Hold on. Oh, barely, hold on. This is so funny. When this dropped, Ian, the main big daddy of this, made no comment. The most he did was post a picture of his fucking dog shit cookies. Be like, guys, I'm having a great time so far today. Oh, this is so pathetic. But from day one also, I think even, getting a bit of flack right now, but I think when it comes to the best comedy from him, you can find it in his Instagram stories. This is so funny.
That's to fight on the same day, no promotion of the event, no public statement. Meanwhile, the owners... And there's another huge thing is Jake Paul.
I disagree with that part. Hold on, give me a second. Let me coach you down.
Day. Nope.
I don't agree with this part. Jake Paul set your fight on the same day. These 3 parts, could have been prevented, but I have no idea how they could have known that, Jake Paul and the UFC would have a fight on the same day, because they announced it much earlier. Much later, sorry, I mean.
Promotion of the event, no public statement. Meanwhile, the owners... And yeah, there's another huge thing is the Jake Paul boxing fight is on the exact same day. Which one do you think might take more precedent with a lot of people? And
Creator Clash, you know, all those people would definitely want to watch Turbo fight more than fuck knows.
At this point, a lot of people want refunds for this because this event is in a state of limbo. People have...
Is he gonna bring up like the disaster behind that? Because even people can't get refunds from this. Please bring it up.
Paid for tickets for fights that now aren't even happening. You know, people are genuinely wondering, people are genuinely curious, and people are concerned about this fight and event. And not to be 100% shocked if Creator Clash and IDubbbz manage to put out a good response. Just going off their track record in the past, I heavily doubt that they're going to be able to deal with this sufficiently and effectively. A clip that also blew up recently to do with Creator Clash was this one from Ice Poseidon.
I got invited.
That's what. Okay, how long do we have? We have about 4 minutes actually. Please tell me he brings up like the disaster behind that, because so far from seeing on Reddit, I mean, take with a pinch of salt, but so far you can't even get a refund on the Creator Clash free tickets. That's laughable. That goes from like a disaster event to like just illegal. It's illegal.
Dubs in his event, his boxing event for Creator Clash, but I had to decline that because if I were to lose the IDubbbz, I would be extremely embarrassed.
You know what, I think that's pretty understandable, and if this does have any merit to it, it kind of just shows that IDubbbz was really scraping the bottom of the barrel to try and piece together Creator Clash.
Yeah, that's so funny. He went from like getting like a brain damage from the first 2 events to now willing to risk it all for like his dog shit event that he could barely run.
One failed charity event being Creator Clash 2, not making any money for charity, which is the whole goal, that they wouldn't do another one. They wouldn't do Creator Clash 3 out of fear of messing it up because they clearly can't run an event like this effectively. And you know, we are weeks away from Creator Clash 3 and already the event has fallen to absolute pieces. What I find pretty funny as well is a few months ago IDubbbz was completely irrelevant, nobody was talking about Creator Clash, and now everybody's talking about Creator Clash for all the wrong reasons. The content
the one time, like, you know, the old idiom, all attention is like, even bad attention is good attention. This is the one time where it does not apply, because nobody's gonna watch this shit, or they will watch it, but they're gonna pirate it.
Might have actually pushed it to more relevancy because people know who IDubbbz is again. And here is Asmund Gold's take on Creator Clash 3.
I think that it was
I don't give a fuck about Asmund Gold. What's he doing here?
I think this actually had nothing to do with any drama with the content cop or anything like that. I don't think it had anything to do with it.
First few seconds and he's being complete bullshit. What?
I think it's just simply that the event wasn't really that interesting. It's basically compounding off of the lack of interest from the previous event, a reduction in people that are willing to be title card fighters. And I think all of these things happening came together and it damaged the event.
I mean, the huge factor of Creator Clash...
No, I get what he means on one side, but like to make to say that the root cause was the lack of interest from the beginning, I don't agree at all. I think this content cop did kill it. Like, it was already, I agree, you know, it was already like a small event in the first place, because like it was a bunch of random nobodies. I mean, like, they were big people, but I think there was one guy from like Corridor Digital that won VFX channel. Like, it wasn't that many well-known people, but like this small incident with content cop, it definitely killed it. You know, like, it went from like being like a crippled child to now a dead crippled child.
2 alone meant that Creator Clash 3 was almost definitely going to be a failure. When this was announced, everybody said that this would be a failure. I think the content cop only heightened the
Yeah, but nobody could expect it being this bad. That's the issue.
And it's very clear that the content cop had ramifications on Creator Clash, and if you can't see that, then I think that might be your issue. I do want to end the video on more of a positive note. So here is the clip of H3 saying he's going to be reimbursing Lena for all of her, you know, boxing training and all the time that took.
That is so goddamn nice, honestly. I've seen it before.
Harley was smart. Apparently he got paid up front.
What? Interesting.
Bro, that's well. How much of a cook are they? They paid the biggest fighter for dropping out. What?
That's fucking insane.
It is insane. That's part of what pissed Harley off, is that he told them from the beginning that he would only do it if everyone was...
Yeah, because I guess, you know, he lived in a dog shit caravan for most of his time for the event. Makes sense.
Getting paid the same amount. He also, interestingly, maybe I shouldn't say this because I'll leave it to him, but if I think he said this publicly already about the payment. He did. He said everyone needs to get paid the same amount, and they agreed. And then he was talking to his opponent, LA Beast, and he was like, oh no, I'm getting paid this much, which is like significantly more than you.
Again, Creator Clash isn't being run effectively in the event. It shouldn't have been taking place in the first place. I feel sorry genuinely for all the fighters, maybe apart from Turbo, because I don't really like the guy. But yeah,
I feel worse for charities. Like, imagine being like a heart foundation, like a breast cancer, whatever, you know. And the night after, you get a big paycheck from Creator Clash 3, and it's a bunch of whopping zeros, because it was run like shit. I want to say that they're not gonna make any money. The only way they can make a profit is by ditching the stadium and like doing it like in some back alleyway, because like that stadium was way too expensive.
I feel bad for all the people that said they were going to be fighting on this card, and now, you know, it's all up in limbo.
How much did you guys spend?
I don't care, dude. If you're an online personality, and you never heard of the controversy with Creator Clash 2, then that's your own fault, you know, for not doing your due diligence and looking them up. Like, how can you like get ready for like, you know, 3 months of training and now look up, you know, these people? Oh, it's IDubbbz, you know, Content Cop guy. He must be trustworthy.
It's pretty much up there. I think we probably spent around $12,000.
So you guys spent $12,000. Oh! And like, why should you guys be expected to front the cost for that, for their fucking event?
What trainer are they paying $12K for from like 3 months, over 3 months? That's insane.
Make any sense.
That price in LA is crazy.
But there it is. I didn't expect them to totally screw you guys in this way. So I will be reimbursing you guys, so don't worry about the money.
We love you.
Hassan would never.
Oh, he's so goddamn stingy. He's so picky. I'll pay for it. Hassan would never.
Can I just tell you thank you?
And I'm incredibly glad that H3 has done this, and it's a great way to end the video on this incredibly positive note. But it's also, you know, just shows and reflects on IDubbbz's character that H3 had to step out of his way to reimburse. Like, instead of the time of recording, we're still waiting for Creator Clash 3's official response and what IDubbbz has to say, and I'm genuinely curious, and we'll probably make a follow-up video when that releases, depending on how detailed it is, and, you know, if I can milk it to at least 8 minutes, right? You know,
he won't make a good apology. He'll go on his fucking dog shit podcast with his wife and he'll say barely anything. Don't get your hopes up.
Well, I've got to put some ads on that. But everybody watching, what was your thoughts on this whole situation? Creator Clash 3. Please feel free to comment down below. And once you're done there, you might as well subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. But I've been your host, Samuel, and I'll catch you in the next.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna drop my quick comment real quick. I'm gonna drop my quick comment. Before let me get this ready. I think this event will burn and crash. Yeah. Okay, so there we are. Let me take off my hair. Oh my god, fucking headphone hair. Ugh. Yeah, gee, this is so embarrassing. It's such a heartbreak from this. Because like, nobody wants us to fail. I want you to fail, right? But I don't want the idea of a charity event to fail. Like, if we can do some good for the world, hell yeah, that's awesome. But like, I'm not going to promote it when I know the people behind it are complete morons. They're not competent. They fucked it before, and now they have the goal to have it going after fucking it up twice. No, is it really twice? I think Content Cop, yeah, definitely twice. Content Cop #1, and second of all, they also had the same stadium, from my knowledge. The same big, overcrowded, you know, way too big stadium for it. Like, if they picked a smaller, cheaper one, that'd been way better. But they haven't. The goal to have it planned around VidCon and to still have it going after Jake Paul announced the fight, that's insane to me. I really believe, you know, 100%. There'll be one more big announcement from like another fighter or, you know, internally in the company that, you know, they're gonna say like, you know, oh, something bad really happened, and then a week later it'll be cancelled. I don't see this fight coming to fruition. I don't, as much as I hate, you know, Ina and Issa, I don't want them to go fucking bankrupt from this. I mean, if they do, it's their own fault. But like, I don't want to sound malicious. As well, I don't want the charity, you know, to get the hopes up, you know, be like, oh wow, we want to get money, and they get fucking nothing, no money from it at all. I don't want it to happen. Just bite the bullet now and cancel it. I promise all of you it's not worth it. But, you know, we'll have to see in the future, you know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll make a follow video to any crazy announcements they make, you know. Will it be cancelled? Potentially, I feel like.